Today it's very important topic related statistics and also diagrammatical representation of statistics. Most of the people, most of the students and most of the area have idea of what these word statistics mean. We should probably say that it has something to do with tables of figures, diagrams, and graphs, with public opinion polls, life insurance, football polls, cricket averages, population census, or intelligence test, with production planning and quality control in industry, and a host of others in unrelated matters of concern and unconcern. If we discuss about the term statistics has been defined differently by different authors from time to time. Every author has defined it in its own ways. After examining the various definitions of statistic, we are now in a position to give a simple and complete definition of statistic as statistic or the numerical statements of facts capable of analysis and interpretation. The science of statistics is the study of the principles and the methods applied in collecting, presenting, analyzing, and interpreting the numerical data in any field of inquiry. Why should one study statistics? What is the importance of statistics or advantages of statistics? Statistics is used to be informed us to extract information from tables, charts, and graphs. And it also statistics are the aggregates of facts. Statistics are affected to a marked extent by the multiplicity of causes. Statistics techniques are the same for the social and for the physical sciences. Follow numerical arguments and understand the basic of how data should be gathered, summarized, or analyzed in a different way. Why should one study statistic? To make informed judgments and to evaluate decision that affects our lives. And if we discuss about the what is variability, in variability, suppose you went into a convenience store to purchase a soft drink. Does every can on the shelf contain exactly 12 ounce? In fact, variability is almost universal. It is variability that makes life interesting. In the quality, state, or degree of being variable or changeable things is a which are variables. And if the shoe fits, like the two histograms which are shown in the figure in front of you, in figure A and in figure B, in the form of graphs, in the form of bar charts, the two histograms, the to the right display the distribution of heights of gymnastics and the distribution of heights of female basketball players, which is which and why we use that bar charts from 60 to 78 and 10, 20, 30, and 40 in a horizontal line and vertical line. The data analysis process, if when we discuss about data analysis process, understand the nature of problem, decide what to measure and how to measure it. And third one, we collect data from different sources, primary sources, secondary sources, by using a different ways. Summarize data and perform preliminary analysis, perform formal analysis, then interpret our results with the help of different facts, different statements which are related to this statistic. And suppose we wanted to know the average GPA of high school graduates in the nation, in the state or institution this year, we should collect data from all the high schools in the country. What term would be used to describe all high school graduates? Here we discuss about the variability of students, variability of different high schools or college or university graduates. The entire collection of individuals or objects about which information is desired. The definition of population is the entire collection of individuals or objects about which information is desired. And what do you call it when you collect data about the entire population from the whole area which are under investigation? Like we collect data from any city, universities from one city, or we collect data from any country, all the colleges of the country, they are the population, entire collection of individuals or objects. But GPA continued. If suppose we wanted to know the average GPA of high school graduates in this nation or in this country, we could collect data for all high school in the nation. And after population, we discuss about sample. What is sample? Sample a subset of population selected for study in some prescribed manner. Like if we collect data of high schools graduates, then we collect data about the region, ethnicity, genders, or other intelligence, other marks like 40% marks, above 80% marks, 70% marks got student in his schools at O level or A level. We collect that data. And what would a sample of all high school graduate across the nation look like? In descriptive statistics, the methods of organizing and summarizing data are used in descriptive statistics. The example of descriptive statistic is if the sample of high school GPAs contained 1000 numbers, how could the data be organized and summarized? Like create a graph, state the range of GPA, and also calculate the average GPA of the student which got from or which contained from high school graduate. In inferential statistic involves making generalization from a sample to a population. Here we collect data in inferential statistic from sample to a population. As you know that sample is a selected item, selected students from the population. Based on a sample, if the average GPA for high school graduates was 3.0, what generalization could be made? The average national GPA for the year high school graduate is approximately 3.0. Could someone claim that the average GPA for graduate in your local school district is 3.0? No. The answer is no. Generalization based on the results of a sample can only be made back to the population from which the sample came from. And it variable, any characteristic whose value may change from one individual to other. And if we take the definition of variable, a variable is a symbol such as x, y, and z, which can assume any of the prescribed set of values. The weight of an individual, the number of children in a class, weekly wages, or the example of variable. A variable sometimes known as a variate, which is defined as a measurable quantity which vary from one value to another. A variable can either be discrete or continuous. And there are two main variables are used, continuous variable and discrete variable. And if we discuss about the attributes. Attributes are the quantitative observation, can be measured, they can only be described. Non-measurable quantities are called attributes. For example, beauty, honesty, or color of eyes, poor, are the attributes of any individual. And data, the values for a variable from individual observations. For this variable, the number of recs per week at the intersection outside. What could observation be? Here are the data 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to the infinite form of the values of a variable from individual observations. Two types of variables which is discussed here. First one is categorical and second one is numerical. In numerical, we also give two main types of numerical variables, which are discrete variable and continuous variable. If we discuss about discrete variable or we define discrete variable, a discrete variable is a variable which can not theoretically assume any value between two given values. And the example of discrete variable or number of accidents in a month, number of children in a family, the number of students in a class are the example of discrete, discrete numerical variable. And if we define continuous variable, in continuous variable, a variable which can theoretically assume any value between two given values is called a continuous variable. For example, the weight of a buy, the monthly income is a continuous variable of any individual. And qualitative. In categorical variables, we discuss about qualitative. In qualitative, identifies basic differentiating characteristic of population. Here, in qualitative, we also discuss about the basic differentiating characteristic of the population. And in numerical variable, there are quantitative observations and measurement take the numerical values, make sense to average these values. Two types, discrete and continuous, are used as the numerical variables. In discrete or numerical, isolated points along a number line and usually counts of the items are used in discrete variable. And in continuous numerical, variable that can be only value in a given interval. Usually measurement of something is a continuous numerical variables. If we identify the following variable like categorical, discrete numerical, categorical or continuous and discrete numerical. In categorical, the color of the course in the teacher's lot is a categorical color of course of the in the teacher lot. And in discrete numerical, the number of calculators owned by student at your school, at your college, at university is a discrete numerical. And in categorical, the zip code of an individual is a categorical variable. And in continuous numerical, the amount of time it takes students to drive to school is a continuous numerical statement variable. And in discrete numerical, the appraised value of homes in your city, in your country, is a discrete variable. Classifying variable by the number of variables in a data set. Suppose that the PE coach records the height of each student in this class. This is an example of unvariate data. And in unvariate data that describe a single characteristic of the population. Unvariate data always describe the single characteristic of the population. And classifying variable by the number of variables in the data set. Suppose that the PE coach records the height and weight of each student in the class. This is a example of bivariate data. And if you see the difference of univariate and bivariate, in univariate data describes in a single characteristic of a population, and in bivariate the data are described two characteristic of the population. In bivariate there are two characteristic of the population data are described. Classifying variable by the number of variable in a data set. Suppose that the PE coach records the height, weight, number of ups and number of push-ups for each student in his class. This is an example of multivariate. And in multivariate data that describe more than two characteristic. When we describe more than two characteristics, it's a multivariate data. And beyond the scope of this course, it's a multivariate data sets. And if we describe the graphs for categorical data, which are discussed in previous slides, first one is bar chart. Bar chart are mostly used, and first we discuss about why we use diagrams. If you see that the most important function of the science and statistic is the present complexity and quantitative data into simple forms and to make them easily intangible. Classification tabulation of data into simple form and make them easily intangible. Diagrams and graphs always help to understand the information in an easy form. The readers, particularly the business executives or doctors or economists, like to have the facts presented in diagrams for the purpose of study and comparison. If currently in the modern age you see that commerce and business industry are most rapidly growing, the successful advertiser over the world are making good use of this medium for sale promotion activities. The visual method makes the comparison and job easily. Presentation of data by geometrical figures is called diagrammatical representation of data. And similarly, if we present the data in a statistical data form by geometrical curves, it are called a graphical representation of data. And also we discuss about the advantages of diagram and graph. If we see the advantages of graph and diagram, the advantages are attractive impression, easy to understand, effective impression, helpful in business and administration, helpful in economist, useful to all of us to use different graph and charts in the shape of diagrams. And in bar chart, we discuss about how we construct a bar chart. We construct a bar chart to draw a historical line, write the categories or labels below the line at regularly spaced intervals, draw a vertical line, label the scale using frequency or relative frequency, place equal width rectangular bars above each category, label with a height determined by its frequency or relative frequency. And in bar chart, it's a frequently or infrequently occurring categories, like collecting the following data and then display the data in the bar chart. Like, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? Vanilla, Coke, chocolate, or strawberry, or any other? Or your favorite ice cream flavor? And in double bar chart, we construct like bar charts but with two or more groups being compared. Here in double bar chart, we compare two or more groups, and it must use relative frequencies on the vertical axis, and it must include a key to denote the different bar charts in double bar charts. Here are the example of double bar chart, like a student applying in a college and the parents of college applicants. If here you see the frequency of students and parents are also given, and ideal distance of the students are given in the question. If we calculate the comparative bar charts with this data, here are the relative frequency, and also in relative frequency there are given the chart or graph for the distance college should be from home. Like in horizontal line we discuss about ideal distance, and in vertical line we discuss about a relative frequency of the students and parents. And if we discuss about what is relative frequency, the relative frequency of a class is the frequency of the class divided by the total frequency of all classes, and it's expressed it in a percentage. It's also expressed in a percentage, like in student 0.35 and in parents 0.53 and up to so on. Segmented or sketched bar chart. How to construct? It must first calculate relative frequencies. Draw a bar representing 100% of the group. Divide the bar into segments corresponding the relative frequency of the categories. And remember the Presenton survey, create a segment of bar diagram graph with the data. In relative frequency, students like 0.35 and zero point 0.3, which we take in the previous slide, the data sets are shown in relative frequency, like students and parents are also given in the shape of different colors. And in pi circle chart, how we construct a pi circle or chart? Pi circle or chart are also used in a diagrammatical shaped, and it's very important in the diagrammatical or graphical representation of data. If we discuss about the pi diagram or pi circle chart, pi diagram refers to the presentation of the aggregate given data by a big circle and the various components by sectors act inside it. The reason for the popularity of pi diagram is the easiness and convenience in his construction. There are two types of pi diagram. One is circle and other is subdivided circle or sector or angular diagrams, which are used in pi's chart. And we construct pi circle, draw a circle to represent the entire data set, calculate the size of the slice, relative frequency multiply by 360 degree, which is a circle, and using the protector to mark off the slice. And to describe which we need or as a result commits on which category had the largest proportion or the smallest proportion are used in the pie chart. And here are the example given for the pie chart where frequency a number of types 1, 2, 3, 4 or more and do not know, and frequency are given, relative frequency are also given. In a we how we create a pie chart for these data. If we see the pie chart for these data set, here are the pie graph, here are the pie chart in the shape of circle where we construct a relative frequency in shape of percentage, like in first one 40.0%, then 36%, in second and third column we use 14%, and fourth one is 7%, and the remaining space of the circle is 3%, which we don't know in the type of the question. And we graph for numerical data dot plot. We construct a dot plot with the help of horizontal line and mark it with an appropriate numerical scale, and locate each value in the data set along the scale and represent it by a dot. If there are two or more observations with the same value, stack the dots vertically. And in doplet looks for we want to as a result as a final suggestion or as a final commitment complements we used in the dot plot the representative or typical value, the extent to which the data values spread out, and the third one we use the nature of distribution along the number line. And very interesting in dot plot, the fourth one is the presence of unusual values are given in the dot plot. Collect the following data and then display the data in the dot plot, like how many body percents do you have, how to describe a numerical unvariate graph, and the question are given how we describe a unvariate numerical or unvariate graph in a distinctive difference among distribution like A, B and C are given, where in horizontal line test grades are given and classes are given in vertical line. And in center we discuss where the middle of the data falls. Three measures of central tendency which are very important and used in centers. The first one is mean, second one is median, and third one is mode. And if we discuss or if we describe the mean here, it's very useful for the measure of location or central tendency, where we use the arithmetic mean, the median, and the mode for data sets. If we define the arithmetic mean is the most common type of averages. It is a value obtained by dividing sum of all the values of their numbers. And in median we discuss about it's the most frequently used, and it is a middle one value which are used in a data set in the shape of median. And in median we discuss median is the value of the middle item of a series when it is arranged in ascending or descending order of the magnitude, and median divides the series into two equal parts in such a way that one half the values are less than the median and in the other half the values more than the median. And the median of a set of values is the value of the middle item when the values are arranged in order of magnitude. And the formula used for and median for odd numbers and even numbers are different. Like for odd number the median is the value of n plus 1 divided by tooth of observation, and for even number we use formula median is equal to 1 by 2 the value of n by 2th item plus value of n plus 2 by 2 item. And for the third one, center or the average or central tendency, which is used in in averages, is the mode. As we discuss mode or we describe about the mode is the most repeated or most common or the most frequent value which occurs in a data of values. The mode is generally regarded as the most typical value in the series of data. And in different data sets, for ungrouped data, we collect data in the shape of more repetition, in the shape of more frequently, and the distribution may have one or more or then one more modes, and the distribution having one mode is called unimode distribution, and more than two modes is called bimode or multimode distribution. And the mean and median is a typically reported rather than the mode. Here are the question which give us the example of the mean, median, and mode. Like the first one is a bell shaped. In horizontal line we show test grades, and in vertical line classes. The first one is for mean, then median, and then mode. And spread. Discuss how spread out the data is. Like refers to the variability in the data, and measure of spread are like range, standard deviation, and IQR. And the example are given like what strike or you as the most distinctive difference among the distribution of exam scores of classes G, H, and I. And test grades or classes are given like left and tail in first one. In I, left and tail is greater than right and tail, and in H is right and tail is greater, and in G there are both sides are equal and asymmetrical distribution, like left hand side and right hand side are equal at the from the peak, which is middle one. And shape refers to the overall shape of the distribution. The following slides will discuss these shapes like symmetrical. In symmetrical distribution refers to data in which both sides are more or less the same when the data is folded vertically down the middle. The bell-shaped is a special type as a center mound with two sloping tails as we discussed in previous slide. And in uniform refers to data in which every class has equal and approximately equal frequency as shown in diagram in front of you. There are different soldiers in the same dress, like five soldiers are standing in first row and five are in second row and third row up to the last one row, which is fifth one row. Every class have equal and approximately equally frequency. And in skewed refers to data in which one side tail is longer than the other side, and the direction of the skewness is on the side of the longer tail. The direction of skewness is on the longer side, longer tail, like it's on the left side or right side. We discuss the skewness is on a longer tail. And bimodal or multimodal, it refers to the number of peaks in the shape of the distribution, like how many peaks are discussed or how many peaks are shown in the distribution. Like in bimodal would have two peaks, and in multimodal would have more than two peaks. And in shape we discuss refers to the overall shape of the distribution. Here we reference the overall shape of the distribution. In symmetrical, uniformed, skewed, or bimodal are the shape of the distribution. What strikes you are the most distinctive Difference among the distribution of exam scores in class J. Here are the test grades and class scores are given in the diagram, which give us the shape of the symmetrical uniform skewed or bimodal and unusual occurrence where outliers value that lies away from the rest of the data. Outlier is the value that lies away from the rest of the data, like gaps, like clusters, like classes, like groups. And in context, you must write your answer in reference to the context in the problem using correct statistical vocabulary and using complete sentences. In context, we use complete sentences, statistical vocabulary, and according to the context, which shows the statistical diagrammatical position of the data. In a dot plot, we represents the typical value, and dot plot also extend to which the data values spread out, the nature of the distribution along the number line, and presence of unusual value as we discussed in previous slides of dotlets. In numerical graphs like stem and leaf display, how we display a stem and leaf shape, like how to construct, select one or more of the leading digits for the stem, list the possible stem value in a vertical column, record the leaf for each observation beside each corresponding stem value, and the fourth and last one, indicate the units for stems and leaves in a key or legend. And to describe stem and leaf display, we use comments on the center spread hand shape of the distribution if there are any unusual features are given in the slide. And the following data sets are given to show the stem and leaf displays, like 0.332, 2.21, 0.29, 0.54, 0.17, 0.28, 0.36, and 0.23. It's a very interesting that in STEM we use the first one letter which are given in the data sets in only one way. Like one in STEM we use 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and in leaf we use the second one digit, like 2, which is in front of 3, and here in leaf we note down the 2 in front of 3, and in second one 0.21, 1 is given in front of 2, and up to so on. In this question we see about the stems and tens, leaves and ones of different values in a data sets in the form of leaf and stem system. And the following data of percentage in primary school age children who are enrolled in school for 19 countries in northern northern Africa and 23 countries of Central African are given in the data set. And histogram, we how we construct a histogram, we draw his horizontal scale and mark it with the possible values for the variable, and draw a vertical scale and mark it with the frequency or relative frequency. And third and last one, above each possible value, draw a rectangle centered that at that value with the high corresponding to its frequency or relative frequency. And to describe histogram, we use center spread and shape of the distribution and if there are any unusual feature. Here are the example or question to uh, to show the histogram number of partners of queen bees. There are three main rows of data sets in the data sets are given in the question to show the histogram. And here are the histograms graphs, like number of partners are shown in vertical horizontal line, and relative frequency and frequency are given in the shape of vertical line. And in histogram, We mark the boundaries of classes, interval on the horizontal axis and vertical scale mark on frequency in a relative frequency, and draw a rectangle directly above the class interval. Here are the question like hours of TV per day, which the children at the age of 3 and children at the age of 1 watch TV per day. Here are the example of relative frequency in vertical line and horizontal. In horizontal line, we describe the hours of TV per day of the children at the age of 1 at the age of 3. And in cumulative relative frequency plot, what is a cumulative frequency? If you define the cumulative relative frequency, how we construct cumulative relative frequency in different system, in different graphs. First we use to answer question about percentages, and in relative cumulative frequency, if we define relative cumulative frequency distribution, when we divide the cumulative frequency by the total frequency and expressed it as a percentage, it is called the relative cumulative frequency. And if in a cumulative distribution, relative cumulative frequencies are used instead of cumulative frequencies, the resulting distribution is called relative cumulative frequency distribution. And here we also use two-way or bivariate frequency distribution tables, and we construct a cumulative relative frequency plot, mark the boundaries of the interval on the horizontal axis, and draw a vertical scale and mark it with relative frequency. Then plot the point corresponding to the upper end and each interval with its cumulative relative frequency including the beginning points. Connect the points with each other. Here are the examples which are given to shows annual rainfall in inches from 4 to 5 and 5 to 6. The data are given in the shape of groups where upper class limit and lower class limit of the data are also given. And relative frequency and cumulative relative frequency which are made from the relative frequency from the first one, which is 0.0252, plus the second relative frequency 0.103. We add up first relative frequency with second one relative frequency, then second cumulative relative frequency plus third one relative frequency, and continue this pattern to complete the whole table. And in this context, we annual rainfalls in inches, like it's a upper class limit, and in cumulative frequency 0.052 is the first one cumulative relative frequency. And here is a graph in rainfall which are shown in horizontal axis and cumulative relative frequency which are given in vertical axis. And here we know the what proportion of the year had rainfall amount that were 9.5 inches or less. And second one, we shows the rainfall in horizontal axis and cumulative relative frequency in the vertical axis. And we know approximately 30%. The graph are shown 30% of the year had annual rainfall less than what amount. And this one in dotted graph, the interval 10 to 11 inches because its slope is steeper, indicating a longer proportion occurred in the rainfall and cumulative relative frequency graph. And displaying bivariate numerical data. How we display bivariate numerical data? In scatter plots, we construct a scatter plot for bivariate numerical data. We construct scatter plot, draw a horizontal scale and mark it with appropriate values of the independent variable. Then draw a vertical scale and mark it appropriate for values of the dependent variable. Plot each point corresponding to the observation, and to describe the scatter plots, the relationship between the variables. And in time series plot, we use measurement collected over time and regular intervals. And we construct time series plot with the help of horizontal scale and mark it with appropriate values of time, and draw vertical scale and mark it appropriate values of observed variable. And the third one point is plot each point corresponding to the observation and connect with each other in time series plot. And we describe time series plot with any trends or pattern over time. And here are the final example of time series plot, where we see the accompanying time series plot of movie box official totals in millions of dollars over 18 weeks in the summer for 2001 and 2002, appeared in USA Today in September 3, 2002. Here the graph shows describe any trend or patterns that you see in the graph, like in horizontal axis and in vertical axis, they show giving at the box office. I hope you have to know about many things of about what is statistics, simple definitions, and also how we represent a bar chart or bar diagrams or diagrammatical representation of data, then how we use measure of central tendencies or average like mean